Blizzard is working on a new unannounced game, and here's why I believe it's going to be a Diablo title. Let's talk about it. First off, Blizzard has a brand new job posting for an unannounced project. Looking into the details here, one of the preferred qualifications lists prior experience with a 3D action multiplayer game. Hypothetically, any of Blizzard's games could fall into that title, but typically, if it was going to be Overwatch, they would say FPS. If it was going to be related to WoW, they would mention MMO or massive online game, and there's really none of that here. Also, in the past, there was mention that the original version of Diablo 4 was going to be a 3D third-person action RPG game in the style of Dark Souls. So this could very well be the resurrection of that effort. Now, I don't believe that this is going to be a Diablo 5, but more so a spin-off game that takes place between Diablo 3 and Diablo 4. And here's why I think that. So beyond Lilith, who was the other large figure in Diablo 4? This was Inarius. The thing about Inarius is that he's been imprisoned by Mephisto since the events of the Sin War, which happened way before the original Diablo 1 game. Now, there's a 50-year gap between Diablo 3 and Diablo 4, and in that time, it appears that Inarius not only escaped hell, he managed to find himself back into Sanctuary, managed to not be spotted by the other angels because they were the ones that condemned him back into hell. And 4, during that time, he was able to establish this giant cathedral of light, show him bowing down to him as the Heavenly Holy Father. So this entire storyline leading up for him gaining this power in Sanctuary is not touched on at all in Diablo 4. The fact that in Diablo 4, spoilers by the way, he does perish, makes me think that that part of the story may not end up getting covered in Diablo 4 expansions. 2, and maybe this is a lesser one that I'm reaching for, Lilith was originally banished to the Void. We do see that she gets summoned through a sacrificial ritual by Elias, but typically that only works if you're summoning a demon from hell. So that makes me think, how did Lilith potentially escape this void area, which we don't really know much about, to be summoned back into Sanctuary? Another storyline that it could potentially go into is how that new Horadrim was formed after Reaper of Souls. So, for example, how did Elias come into the picture and join Lorath and Tyrael? And then how did Donan join them as well to form this Horadrim? Also, Tyrael is missing from Diablo 4, through Donan's own words, caused the collapse of the new Horadrim. He said that Tyrael left because something scared him. What exactly scared him? Was it potentially Inarius' return to Sanctuary? Or is it something that we'll find out in a later expansion, maybe in Vessel of Hatred? Lastly, another huge storyline in Diablo lore that has not been covered by the games is the Sin War. The Sin War storyline very closely parallels that in Diablo 4, so it's clear where the inspiration came from for the latest game. Both of them focus on Inarius and Lilith's power struggle in trying to possess Sanctuary, and humanity's struggle to be independent and overcome them both. I think the Sin War is a fantastic storyline that can be adapted into other media. There are rumblings that a TV or movie adaptation of Diablo is in the works, so only time will tell there. Lastly, in Diablo 4, Rathma did have that prophecy that came through, which Inarius so desperately decided to chase. Now, in the Sin War, we know that Rathma gets his prophecies from the Guardian of Sanctuary, who is the great celestial serpent known as TragOul. Now, TragOul hasn't been represented whatsoever in the games, and is only mentioned as this very powerful presence watching down from the shadows. So wrapping it up, there is potential that the new game can really cover all of these topics discussed. So Inarius' escape from hell, Lilith's escape from the void, Rathma meeting with TragOul and receiving his prophecy, and Tyrael chasing down whatever scared him that caused him to leave the Horadrim. Anyway, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments about what another potential Diablo game could be. And as always, if you enjoy videos like this, please like and subscribe to continue supporting the channel. Thank you.